Hello and welcome to Baseplate Reviews. It's 1st of August, which means a load of new releases on Lego.com. Some of these have already come out in Europe a couple of months ago, but we're looking at this from a North American perspective. And there's a load of new releases, plus a few new deals, with some of them being slightly tricky in terms of what Lego are doing. So this is a bit of a run through of those. It's not going to be looking at every new set, but some of the ones which I think are good. And like I say, just looking at some of the specifics of those deals because it's not quite as straightforward as it first seems. We'll start with the gifts of purchase then, and the first one you can pick up is this McLaren P1 logo. It rotates, you've got a little crank at the side. It does come in this slightly horrid yellow box, and the only way you can pick this one up is if you get the rather expensive McLaren P1 Technic set, which is available for 450 US dollars. I think that's 590 Canadian dollars, so really rather expensive, but kind of a flagship set. And the McLaren P1 was a supercar, so a flagship car from McLaren themselves. It is really impressive in terms of the size. You can see it versus the lady in the lifestyle picture here. So really nice set, and I think that when you're spending this kind of amount of money, certainly if you're picking it up in the first few days, you really do deserve to get a little extra. So that's nice. The other gifts we purchased that are specific to certain themes are the two poly bags from the Dreamzzz range, so Zoe's Dream Jet Pack Booster and Z-Blob and Bunchu Spider Escape. So we've got first one there, and then the other poly bag comes with this. Not quite sure why it couldn't all just come as one, but with this, you do have to get purchases that sit in the Lego City, Lego Friends, Lego Dreams, Harry Potter, or Lego Ninjago range, and those are purchases of 50 US dollars or 65 Canadian dollars. Now, both those ones that we've just looked at are specific to certain themes or sets, but we do have another gift with purchase, which is the micro rocket launch pad, and this is available with purchases of 200 US dollars or 260 Canadian dollars. It actually is really important to know that there are some exclusions with this, but we'll look at the set to start with. So it's coming with that kind of retro look to it, retro packaging, and sits in the space kind of theme, which has been the ongoing thing for Lego this year. Various sets all sitting under that space theme, and does come with some really desirable baby astronaut minifigs there. I think that this is going to be pretty desirable to a lot of people. Now, what we all like to do is do some stacking. So you think, oh, well, this, you don't have to be specific in terms of what you pick up. So if I buy that McLaren P1, well, obviously that's over 200 US dollars. But actually, if we look at the exclusions on this, and it's actually really important to note that the exclusions are you don't get it when you pick up the McLaren P1, or if you pick up the Lego Dreams Castle Nocturnia set, which comes out of pretty much the threshold. So you're going to really struggle to stack up those offers. The other exclusion is your usual one: you don't get parts from the pick a brick section if they're not in the bestsellers range. But yeah, definitely something to note if you did want to pick up both McLaren P1 logo and also the micro rocket launch pad. It's not automatically going to stack. You're going to have to buy some separate things there. I will show you at the end that when I fill my bag, I don't actually qualify for this, even when I do put in sets which cost over 200 US dollars. One of those things, I suppose. As we've just spoken about it, because it doesn't count towards the threshold for that micro rocket launch pad, we'll just take a quick look at the Dream set, Castle Nocturnia. This is the most expensive one, the most major set they've released in the range at 200 US dollars. And I can definitely appreciate the creativity of it. Maybe doesn't quite fit in with what I'm trying to do with my city and my displays, but definitely some really interesting minifigs and mini minifigs. This one in particular, just to the right here, reminds me very much of a character from the Hidden Side range from a few years ago with Lego. Other than that, there are some other releases from the Dreams range. Probably the most major one is this Neverwitch's Midnight Raven. Great big raven with a house on its back. And again, that cool character that I mentioned before, 100 US dollars. So if you're looking to pick some stuff up, those would be the kind of two major ones from the Dreams range for me. Now, a theme that I really like is Lego City. And with this, we've got quite a few sets which have already come out in Europe, but one that hasn't, and so is coming out 1st of August, both in North America and Europe, is this one, the Downtown Streetcar and Station for 90 US dollars. I think that's 120 Canadian. And I think this is a really nice set. Of course, what brings the price down versus the trains is the fact that this is not motorized. And also, you can see quite a bit smaller than the trains, but that's what a tram or streetcar is like in real life. What I like about this is we've kept the same kind of theme in terms of colours as we recently had with the rail station that came out last year, I believe. With this one, we've got 6 minifigs, plus we've got that guide dog there, so pretty nice. I think that this is one that a lot of people will get a lot of joy out of, both in the building process and also pretty displayable, pretty useful for a city. Um, Especially if you've got a small kind of city layout, maybe those kind of intercity style trains don't quite work, whereas this one definitely will. Now, the other set, which I think is really nice value and is a complete play set, is this one, the Seaside Harbour with cargo ship for 110 US dollars. Now, with this, you do get 8 minifigs. So we've got 8 minifigs there, a couple of kid ones, plenty of accessories, and the whole set looks like it's got a lot of playability. So we've got obviously the harbour side, we've got the crane, and then we've got really nice cargo ship there. You'd think that with the kind of hull pieces, you sometimes lose out on a parts to price ratio here, but you're getting 1,226 pieces for 110 US dollars. So I actually think this is really quite good value in comparison to some sets that we have seen over the past couple of years. The other one that's coming out, I think this is already out in Europe, is this awesome yellow mobile construction crane. You can see how many wheels it's got. So what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 16 wheels, 8 each side. And this is an absolute beast. Now, we've had construction cranes before. I think about one that was out a couple of years ago. This one, really nice set. What one was that? 60324. But on a much smaller scale, this one's just absolutely huge. Really, really impressive set. Of course, for some people, cities might just be too big, but I can see that there's very little to complain about here. Again, lots of functionality. You've got the bits that can move out, can winch up and down, and of course we've got that porta potty or portaloo just there as well. So really nice set. After that, we've got the car transporter truck with sports cars. And again, I think that Lego's going for trying to sell these sets where they can work as a play set just by themselves. Of course, we're often thinking, how can I put this with my city and stuff like that? But actually, you're getting 3 full size kind of city size cars there. You're getting the full minifigs, the accessories, nice car transporter, maybe a little bit bare kind of in here, but then I'm not sure exactly what you'd have there. Again, playability, we can move the front of the truck forwards, tilt it forwards like that, and just you think you buy this for a kid, they're going to have quite a lot of playtime available with it. And actually, on a parts to price ratio, it's not too bad. 998 pieces, 100 US dollars. So it's pretty much on that 10 cents a piece mark. And you are getting stuff like tires and things like that in there. It's not all made up of tiny, tiny pieces. One more notable set then that's coming out in the city range, and that's the Robot World roller coaster. I was slightly surprised to see this in the city range because when we've had coasters at this kind of scale before, they've tended to sit in the Creator 3-in-1 range. So we had a pirate one, and I think we also had a space or kind of alien one as well. With this, we get another 8 minifigs, some really nice accessories here as well, an arcade machine, a couple of arcade machines, it looks like. And what's interesting here is there's actually a couple of adverts for this roller coaster. So one was on the double decker bus, which came out recently at the back of that, and also in the harbour that we just looked at, there's a sticker which is making reference to this mech. I didn't notice it at the time because this set hadn't already come out, but yeah, definitely, obviously thought that this should sit within the city range. An interesting choice. $100, 186 pieces. You're getting some really nice roller coaster track there as well in the kind of lime green. There are two new releases in the Creator 3 in 1 range, but there's only one that I'm really interested in, and that's this modern house. So obviously goes along with the city sets really kind of nicely. And this is a bit of a return to form in my mind for Creator 3 in 1 because I wasn't too impressed with the buildings that they did last year. Now, of course, really nice A set or prime set, however we want to kind of say it. Then we've also got the kind of the B set there. Not too interested in that, but I really love, even though this is the modern house, I really love the kind of C set here, which is that in that style of that kind of California ranch 1950s style homes. I actually think that even if I don't pick this set up, I might actually take some inspiration for this to make some stuff for my city, certainly for the kind of residential areas that I need to build up. 100 US dollars, 939 pieces. Often the Creator 3 in 1 isn't the best on a parts to price ratio. Maybe it's because you can tend to pick these up with a bit of a discount occasionally. I actually think this is really nice set. Would be pretty much right up there with my top picks for these 1st of August releases. Just a bit of a disclaimer with this one. This isn't actually a 1st of August release. It comes out 6th of August, 3rd of August for LEGO Insiders, and this is the LEGO Ideas set, Jaws, based on the classic film. And the film's absolutely perfect. The set's pretty close to perfection. And I think that certainly in terms of the minifigs, uh, I think that's just about perfect. So we've got Robert Shaw in the middle. We've got Richard Dreyfuss just on the right hand side, and then Roy Scheider just to the left there. And of course, Bruce the Shark, too. Uh, Also got those iconic barrels. If you've watched the film, you'll know how they come into play right at the end. And this is pretty good stuff. Uh, I think that the original designer, the Lego Ideas submission designer, has got me pretty proud of this. 1,497 pieces, 150 US dollars. And of course, works in that kind of diorama way. You could have thought a lot of those pieces will be used to just do water, etc. But I actually think that, you know, it's not that bad at all. Uh, not too many small pieces, really iconic. Anyone who sees it, if you've got it set up, should know exactly what it is. And we do get that nice kind of plate at the front as well. Yeah, definitely another top pick for the August releases. Now, DC sets aren't something I'm normally that interested in at all, but I did think that this one, Batman with the Batmobile versus Harley Quinn and Mr. Freeze, was pretty notable. 60 US dollars based on Batman the animated series. And I thought this is a pretty unique Batmobile. Most of the time, you're getting them in a kind of a black color. What we've got here is, of course, you can see it's Batman the animated series because we get that plaque with it just there. Unfortunately, it is a sticker, but we do also get this way of displaying it. Of course, you can always take it off the display and use it as a play set. We've got that just here, and we've got stud shooters on the top. I just thought this was a nice one. If you've got a bit of a Batmobile collection, and there's been a lot of them released for Lego over the years, then this might be a pretty unique one to add to that. Now, just a really brief interlude because I'm not going to be recommending this set, and I don't really think many other people are either. This is the Travel Moments set, 41838, 1,231 pieces, 150 US dollars. And just what is it? Uh, Now, the idea is that this was based on the winning set from the Lego Masters TV show, but doesn't really do that justice. And also, just doesn't really do justice in terms of, I suppose you can see it's a map of the world. Not great, these tiny little pieces to indicate where you visited, but there's not enough studs there to put them on the places you visited. The plane is okay at best. I don't even think at best. And yeah, not to put too much of a downer on it, but I think there's going to be an awful lot of these left over if Lego have produced a few too many of them. Yeah, one of those things. We all miss the mark sometimes. I'm only going to briefly talk about Lego Star Wars because there's channels that do that far better than me. I'm not a Star Wars fan in particular, and certainly not a Lego Star Wars collector. But what I did think was interesting, we've got 9 new releases, but of those 9, 4 of them aren't really based on any particular Star Wars property. They're more actual Lego stuff. So that is the Dark Falcon just there, 180 US dollars, already showing that it's on back order. So potentially a really popular one. Also, we've got the TIE Fighter and X Wing mashup. This is the one where you can put the wings from the TIE Fighter onto the X Wing and vice versa. We've also got the Creative Play Droid Builder set and also Jedi Bob's Starfighter just there. Now, does this suggest, 4 out of 9 aren't really based on a particular movie or TV show, that Lego are trying to make sure they can stand on their own 2 feet whilst Disney Star Wars tries to poison the well of all of the actual properties? Uh, you might have noticed there haven't been any Acolyte sets that have come out. Although here we've got a set coming out, the Onyx Cinder, for a TV show which isn't coming out till December, which is the Skeleton Crew featuring Jude Law. Nice minifig there for him. We have got an Ahsoka set. Ahsoka was out quite some time ago now, but this is a nice one. $55 for effectively 5 minifigs and a tiny bit of a display. Yeah, not too bad. The Imperial Star Destroyer is definitely at an odd kind of scale, but when you do it at the kind of big scale, it becomes unaffordable for most people. So maybe this is a nice way of doing it. And we get another one of those kind of buildable figures in C3PO. I think that's a nice one. Although, again, $140, 1,138 pieces. It's definitely on the pricey side. I suppose that's the cost of paying for the Star Wars license. Talking about licensed sets, and we do get a few new sets from Marvel here. Probably the most major ones are the Guardians of the Galaxy ship, the Milano just there, and the Avengers Assemble Age of Ultron. We'll take a closer look at those, but then below that, we've got a couple of what I can only describe as almost battle pack sets. This one's 50 US dollars though. It does come with a big fig of the Hulk and a Leviathan, 4 minifigs. The Leviathan is a bit bigger than the ones I think that come with the Avengers Tower. And then we get this effectively battle pack, Iron Man and Iron Legion versus the Hydra Soldier. So 4 minifigs, $20. It's not great, but not terrible either. Probably better deal than the blind packs if you don't know what you're going to get. The weird one for me was this one, Thor versus Surtur construction figure from Thor Ragnarok. And now that film was out an absolute age ago. And I'm not sure too many people are crying out for getting that set, but the skeletons are definitely pretty cool. 30 US dollars, 245 pieces, maybe not too bad. I know that I saw some people say that they could use the Surtur figure to basically as the basis for a Balrog, so a Lord of the Rings character there. But if we look at the Avengers Assemble Age of Ultron set, 100 US dollars, do get 3 kind of Ultron soldiers there, and we do get the big 5 Avengers, so Hulk, Captain America, Iron Man, Black Widow, Thor, and I suppose if you're going to stick him in there as well, we've got Hawkeye as well. That's why I said it was a big 5 and not a big 6. But yeah, pretty nice set. Works as a diorama, the way we've got it all set up, but also you're getting some really nice minifigs there. You can see, interesting how it's constructed, can be pulled apart, changed around to exactly what it looks like. And there you go, confirmation of all those minifigs. What is interesting to note is we're getting the rubber capes now for caped characters in general. So rubber cape there just for Thor. But yeah, not bad. Only 613 pieces. So it does really show how much you're paying for the minifigs and certainly the big fig. If we go to the Guardians of the Galaxy ship, the Milano here, then this is a pretty nice one. 4 minifigs, so the main guys and also the baby fig for Groot just there. Now, I have to say, I think that the printing on these minifigs is absolutely outstanding. Yeah, just really good representations of the characters, but also the ship. Although, it might be a bit studdy for some people, not quite so smooth. I actually think this is really effective and a really striking design. Probably not something that I'll be picking up, but I think anyone that does pick it up, this works from both a play and a display perspective. And when we look at the parts to price ratio, 2,090 pieces, $180. Not bad at all. This is a sneakily good one. A bit of a pity it didn't come out closer to when Guardians of the Galaxy 3 came out, but one of those things. It doesn't always work out, I think, in terms of production and design and stuff. But I have to say, I think this is probably one of the better Marvel sets of recent years. Finishing off then, and we'll end on a positive, which is with the On Fire Speed Champions range. We got two new sets coming out here. So the Ferrari F40 supercar, based on the 80s classic. And this has actually been made before in the Speed Champions range, but just not in the six stud wide configuration. So before it changed up for that. And I think this is a really excellent representation of that car. Now, at first, when you look at it, you think, "Oh, not too many stickers," but actually, there are stickers here, there are stickers there are stickers pretty much everywhere. But yeah, it's one of those things. I don't think that they're super noticeable, and probably not as bad as some Speed Champion sets in terms of sticker application. Certainly not as bad as the next set coming up, which is the NASCAR Chevy Camaro ZL1, and you can see plenty of stickers here, and you're going to want to get these applied correctly. Of course, it should have lots of stickers. That's just like real life. NASCAR's have advertising plastered all over them, but I actually really like the colours of this. I don't see why people wouldn't like it. You know, it's NASCAR. It's supposed to be pretty out there. And yeah, this is pretty nice NASCAR specific stickers. They've got the Cup Series one there and stuff like that. You can see the kind of model that it's based on there without stickers. But yeah, this is pretty good stuff. Both of these come in at $27, 328 pieces for this one, 318 pieces for the Ferrari. But yeah, pretty good stuff. So, what do you guys think of this August 2024 release window? Are there some sets you're really looking forward to picking up? Are you looking to try and hit the thresholds for this gift with purchase, or is it something you're not that interested in? Let me know in the comments below what you're planning on picking up. I think that for me, I'm probably going to look at getting the Creator 3-in-1 Modern House. I've seen some things that other people have done with it. It's already been out in Europe prior to being out here in North America. So yeah, I might look at picking that up. And I've also got some parts ordering to do. I'm also pretty tempted by the city, downtown streetcar and station, but not 100% sure about that. Like I say, do have to be careful with what you're picking up in order to hit the thresholds for this. A couple of sets don't count. So the McLaren P1 and also that big Lego Dream set. But hopefully you found this useful. If you have, please leave a like. And any sets that I pick up, I will be doing reviews of. So if you want to see those, hit the subscribe button as well. But as ever, I'll leave you and be good.